good evening, Fantasy Degenerates. Todd here, along with my co-anchor Robbie, and we are going to go through the Crew Year 2 Power Rankings.
Alright, yeah, welcome to Year 2, and here is our non-professional view of how we think the preseason rankings should be. We're currently watching the opening game of the Seahawks and Packers, so some of this may come into play, but all in all, here's how we think that everybody drafted and how it may futurely lay out this season. Number 12, we're going to go ahead and start with Team E-Bomb. I think there's some issues here with this team and how he drafted. I don't know if there's a lot of distractions up in Chicago. I know there's a higher standard of living, so I expected him to draft high, but apparently I was wrong. E-Bomb, you have A.J. Green and Drew Brees, so those are the bright points, but that's the extent of that.
Sorry, Ryan. Moving on to number 11, we have Team Sedan. Ooh, Jeff, come on, man. You had a pretty shitty draft, I think.
Yeah, Jeff, there was some kind of running back issues with you. Don't quite have the core that you may need this season. But, good luck to you. You made a strong push last season, so maybe you can do the same this year, but who knows. So we'll move on to number 10, who last year had some extreme struggles, and it seemed to continue on to the draft this year, especially in the running back position. Mike Collins. Your starting running backs are actually backup running backs in this league with Danny Woodhead, Joyke Bell, and I don't remember the third one you have because he's horrible.
You gave up after week 4 last year, and you gave up before we even started this year. Rodgers had a less than stellar game tonight, so hopefully that'll turn around for you because that's one of your only bright spots.
Very true, very true. All right, let's move on to number 9, Matt Taylor.
Mr. Vince Shuttlecock.
Mr. Cock, I think you learned a lot last year from your first season of fantasy football. You have a decently drafted team, but I think that a lot of the players you were thinking could be good this year were maybe good in 2008, 2009, maybe faces of the past. So we'll see what you can do with that. Hopefully you can make some moves and make something of it. I know you're learning and building from that core of your first year in fantasy last year.
Next up at number 8, we have Mr. Daniel Camden, who went with the same strategy as last year and went wide receiver heavy.
True.
Mr. Chad Johnson, I believe, is on your team.
Calvin.
I don't know, Chad. Who's Chad?
He might as well have Chad Johnson. But Camden, you said after 5 rounds this year that you hated your team, and hey, I still hate your team. So, make the best of it, but we both know we're not happy with it. Moving on to number 7, Tommy Flynn. What is that? Ryan Top, Dave Bottom, Dave Top, Ryan Bottom?
Yes, that was his first team name. I believe he changed it to Lurch Longbottoms, making fun of Teddy Deering.
Ah, yes. So he's already killed Teddy, Dave, and Ryan this year.
Yeah, Tom, you're a good addition this year to the team, fantasy league. You bring a competitiveness to the league we haven't seen in a while. You're always making fun of people and just making them feel bad about themselves. So we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Even greater than his competitiveness is his nature to destroy people's egos.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for in this league.
And you brought it.
Thank you, Tom, and good luck getting out of the bottom 6 in the power rankings. So moving on to number 6 is David English. He's come a long way since the Jacksonville Jaguar days.
Yes.
I think he had a pretty strong draft. I'm pretty happy with him. He has Andre Ellington, which I think is going to have a huge year. So I look for Dave to really do some big things this year as opposed to last year being in the bottom 3.
You are definitely a grower and not a shower this year.
And then number 5, we have Waylon. Waylon is kind of that last number 12 guy that we kind of addition to the league that we needed to have the solid 12-person core. He's not known by a lot of the people in this league, but he is a fantasy guy that's been around the block a time or two. So
yeah.
He's a top 6 guy, and I think he's a good addition to. He will talk some shit and also back it up with some waiver pickups and make some moves.
Yeah, he'll play. He'll play this year. He won't give up after week 2.
Absolutely. He's no Jason Gaither. All right. Number 4 is Todd Sauter. And Sauter, he got Peyton Manning, right? Is that right?
No, I did not get Peyton.
Just
Manning.
kidding.
I picked up
Marshawn Lynch, and Marshawn had a huge game tonight. So Todd plans on jumping on the piggyback there in the backpack of Marshawn Lynch and riding that out this season. How do you think it's going to work for you?
Hope it works. It worked last year, so we'll see if it works again this year.
All right. Well, I like your team enough with Bishop Sankey there on your. You got a pretty strong bench too, so I think that you got some good things coming this year.
We'll see what happens.
We will see.
Number 3 here on the list, we got Teddy Deering, runner-up last year. Pretty solid team coming into the year. This year, drafted LaShawn McCoy. Never a bad pick.
Teddy, honestly, I love your team. If you would get on the waivers right now, pick up Andy Dalton, the Ginger Jesus, and he will lead your team to victory. I mean, you have Rob Gronkowski, Roddy White, LaShawn McCoy, Alfred Morris. I think your team is dynamite. You just need a solid quarterback. RG3 is not your guy, but you can be a top 3 in this league. Just get a good quarterback. Promise you, buddy. All right. Moving on. Don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm number 2 overall. And
Mr. Swayze.
Absolutely. And I think, I like to credit a lot of my team to picking up Le'Veon Bell in the 3rd round. He dropped heavily to me. I got Matt Forte, Jordy Nelson, MJD.
Tony Romo, if he can keep away from the interceptions this year.
Right.
He's got a new offensive coordinator. I think some good things can happen there.
And let's not forget about the wife beater Ray Rice.
Ooh,
Coming off suspension, I think he's going to have a big year. But let's just go ahead to number 1, and that is clearly my Negro. My Negroes.
Mr. Adam Secura.
He is a great team. Clearly had the number 1 pick this year. Wasn't sure what he was going to do with it, but he took all day Adrian Peterson.
Made the best of it.
Made the best of it. He took Cordero Patterson, which I think is a huge sleeper.
Alshon Jeffrey. He's going to have a good year with Jay Cutler.
And let's not forget, late, was it 9th, 10th round? Picked up Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
His outlook doesn't look good in the short term, but long term, I think he may help your team. And I like Secura to finish top 4 this year.
I couldn't agree with you more, Monty.
All right. Well, there's your preseason power rankings. Like them or not, it's just us talking, opinions, whatever. It doesn't matter. But we'll see what we can do with these. And why don't you try to prove us wrong, that bottom 6? Otherwise, top 6, we'll see you in the playoffs this year.
And remember, if you're winning, it's fantasy, and if you're losing, it's fake.
True story.